If you don't know what Miniverse is, it's basically mini things. They're very cute. I can't look at something or think of something to do with it without being like, oh, it's so cute. So, yeah. Hi guys, welcome to my studio. I hope you're good. So today I thought we'd look at Miniverse and we are going to look at Make It Mini Spa. So if you don't know, Miniverse is basically mini craft projects and they do like cafe ones, Harry Potter ones, which I have done a video on before, so definitely check that out after this one. They do hundreds, just so many craft projects. And I thought, why not do one myself and draw something? As I said, I've done this before, but not of the spa one. And as it's the new year, for some reason, I want to go to spa. So let's do it. Let's see what we get inside. And whatever we get will determine the artwork that we're going to produce. So let's do it. Let's see what's inside. Is it going to break off nicely? Who knows? No, come on. Let me in. What are we going to get? What are we going to get? Do I want a spoiler? No. No. We'll figure it out. It's literally so cute. Look how tiny it is. It's like the size of my thumb. See, look. Even the illustration on that is so cute. Oh, yes. We've got the bathtub. What are we going to get? Soap. Does that mean we're going to get the soap? We got the soap. Oh, this is going to be so cute. That's actually the one I really wanted, or the bath bomb.
So I figured I'd fast forward through this because you don't really need to hear me saying stuff is cute a million times, even though I will say stuff is cute a million times.
Okay, we've got the berry marbled soap, because obviously it says very berry. So I'm going to go with that. And also we've got pink and a blue. So the other one's a peach. So, I mean, the branding, again, is so on point. It's so cute. Oh, that smells. I think it smells like berries. It smells so
good. At this point, I figured it would be so much easier just to pour it out and mix it on my desk because it is so small. And yeah, I know, Miniverse, but still really, really tiny.
Do you know what? I'm going to sketch in that 30 minutes because I think I've got enough of an idea. Basically, a very berry bubble bath. I know what I mean. Do I? But yeah, I'm going to draw a very, very bubbly bath thing. So yeah, so we've got our soap. That's the one, soap. And I'm just going to now leave it for 30 minutes and I'll be back. So I'm probably actually going to do the sketching in this 30 minutes because that's enough time to come up with a basic sketch. So, I mean, it's plenty of time. Maybe a colour palette as well, considering we know what 2 colours we're going to use. So, yeah, I'm going to get sketching. And for that, I'm going to need my trusty iPad and my Apple Pencil. Let's do it.
For me, it was a no-brainer what I was going to draw. The moment that I decided that I was going to do a very berry bubble bath, I was drawing a bathtub. And I know I've drawn a few bathtubs, but I do like to try and mix it up and do slightly different styles each time, so I'm not drawing the same one. And this sketch was really about finding the right composition and the image that I wanted to make. So originally, I thought I was going to put the bathtub at the top, kind of as I've Kind of as I've drawn it here, and then putting the items, because it is all about the items in the Miniverse. It's about adding the things together to make the final product. So it kind of made sense to me to have them all over the floor and make a really kind of interesting and vibrant and full illustration. But then I decided, why did I decide to move it down? I decided to do this so that there could be more emphasis on the bubbles, and where I am going to, spoiler alert, do this more traditionally and paint and do some cutouts and have an experiment, I figured it would actually be easier for myself to focus on this. Yeah, I wanted to draw colourful bubbles. Anyway, the idea here is that I was going to put the bubbles in the top left and bottom right and create this kind of frame and focus on the rule of thirds, which, if you don't know, is kind of a rule to make a pleasing image and a good composition. So it just helps you space things out well, just imagining there is a grid over the image and spacing things out evenly.
Okay, so I think it's been about 30 minutes-ish, but I'm impatient, so I'm going to open this now. We've got little soap. Oh, and it has actually marbled. Look at that. Oh. Look how cute that is. Definitely does remind me of kinetic sand. It'll be so interesting to see how this actually washes. Oh, I love it. I cannot wait to do the illustration on this. So now we've got our tiny little cute, if I do say so myself, very berry soap. Let's get colouring my sketch. Let's do it.
So here are the colour swatches that I made, and this actually took a really long time to do because where I was doing it traditionally and not digitally, it was going to be hard to change the colours once I started. And when I did start, I found out very quickly that my desk in my studio was not going to be big enough, and it was just absolutely full to the brim. I didn't know whether I was coming or going, so I had to relocate to the kitchen table. Then I could kind of spread out and also paint not near, cameras and computer equipment. So that was a bonus. So to start with, I actually sketched out the image again, and I'd love to say that I knew a fancy way of getting it from my iPad onto paper. I mean, technically, I suppose I could have printed it, but I drew it all out again, and this I knew could be quite rough because I was actually going to paint on top and also kind of do some collage again because I did that last time and I absolutely really, really loved it, and I wasn't expecting to. So yeah, I was rolling with it, and it did mean I didn't need to be so neat with my sketch. So bonus, really. I am also loving using gouache again. I mean, the way it just lays down on the paper. And yeah, it's just so good and really reminds me of uni times. And also, I have to say, using lots of different paper was actually so much fun, like all the different textures and different overall feel. And you can really see this when I worked on the top over on the pencils. And yep. Okay, now I'm doing the face. So I'd like to stipulate here that there is no right or wrong way of doing a painting, and I'm probably doing it completely the blah blah blah. And I'm probably doing it completely the wrong way that you would do it. But at the end of the day, as long as I end up with a picture, I say that's a, day well spent. So I was just kind of winging it, really. But is what I tend to do. So I was flitting between different bits, making new bits that I was going to cut out and stick on, and where this was just another massive experiment, and I wasn't sure exactly what it was going to look like afterwards. It was just a fun process of trying different things at different times, and when I felt like painting, I'd paint. When I felt like sketching and drawing, I would. And yeah, and kind of merging it all together at the end and hoping that it worked out. I spent quite a lot of time moving things around and deciding where things were going to go. And it was really kind of freeing and relaxing knowing that if I put it somewhere and I didn't like it, I could just move it or cut it. And it was really easy to change. And it almost, actually thinking of it now, reminds me a bit more of the digital process, that it wasn't permanent because I hadn't stuck it down yet. it was just such an enjoyable process that I really got lost in the process, and I found myself working at this quite late into the evening. Like after the kids had gone to bed, I'd just come downstairs, light my candle, and just sit in my conservatory at the kitchen table and just carry on painting and colouring. And this reminds me so much, like I know I've said it before, but of uni and exactly what I do there, because obviously for some reason I used to stay up late then. I didn't need to be in bed by kind of like 9 o'clock. But it was just so enjoyable to just calm, so relaxing and cozy, especially with all of the fairy lights. And fun fact, I put these up at Christmas and I'm never taking them down. When you think of doing collage, you definitely don't think of how long it actually takes to cut things out. And also, it really depends on the scissors you use of how much your hands hurt or not, apparently. So I was going between that and sketching and the painting, and I absolutely love the sketching bit now. I was actually talking about this with another artist today, that I love these pencils. Now, I have to say, I'm a pencil snob, but to be fair, I have had these since uni. Now, this is one thing that has lasted. And how many years ago was I at uni? Like 13, 14 years. And these pencils, granted a bit shorter, but are as good as the day I used them. And I just love how they show up on the gouache and they really kind of give the texture through it. And also you can get them really sharp and get in the detail. So they are the Pablo Picasso of the Caran d'Ache. Now, I know they're an expensive pencil, but as I said, I've kind of always found these my go-to. For anything else, a softer one is fine, but it's just my personal one that I've used. And I got them as a present from when I was at uni and from my now husband. So they have really lasted, and I probably wouldn't have actually brought these for myself at the time. So yeah, they have definitely got my vote. But I will say it's really important that you find a pencil that works for you and in the way that you like to work. Because obviously, if you don't like kind of the sharp lines and the details, that a softer pencil would be so much better for you. But it's just about finding what works for you and what doesn't. Also, I have to apologise about the silly clip in my hair. My daughter gave it to me and then I forgot it was there. So I'm sorry, it's just there and it's slightly distracting. But hopefully I change camera angle soon. you know me, you know I absolutely love adding in loads of little details and hidden things. And this is definitely much harder in traditional than digital because obviously you can zoom in on an iPad screen. So I did get out my really tiny brushes and just see what details I could add. But it was really fun, and I definitely encourage you to look so much further into a picture than you would at all the little details, and especially like the names of things. Because 9 times out of 10, they're either really important to the author or the illustrator. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out. And as you can see, the lighting's changed and it's apparently gone kind of orange, but this is because, once again, I am working of an evening after client work, after the kids were in bed. And I do have to say that this was entirely my choice because I was loving it. I think this time I popped a film on my iPad. And yeah, just really enjoyed the process again. And getting lost in artwork is probably the reason why I fell in love with illustration and art in the first place. Because you can kind of really get stuck into a piece of work and do more and more. And I do know obviously sometimes less is more, but yeah, I'm big on the tiny little details because that is just me and that's just my style. And I love telling stories through my art, which is probably a good thing that I do illustration because you can say so much with a picture. I mean, it just goes to show there is a saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words for a reason. And in picture books, because there's kind of a lot less words, well, there is a lot less words, not kind of. There's a lot less words, so the picture and the words need to really work together, and the picture has to say what the words don't, and vice versa. So it really is really important that they work together to tell the story of the book. When I was done placing all the elements, I basically took the best pictures that I could, even though it was really late at night, and made sure I got these images as sharp and as crisp as I could, because now we're going to take them into the digital world and pop them onto my iPad and kind of just do the finishing touches. I mean, obviously, as you can see here, she's got no eyes, but that was really primarily because I was afraid to draw the eyes and mess them up, and then it'd be really difficult to kind of repair. So I figured it would be safer to put these in digitally because, yeah, didn't want to mess them up because this has taken me so long up to this point. Yeah, just didn't want to mess it up. Can you blame me? It was actually looking really nice and I am in love with this colour palette that I never actually mentioned it. That this colour palette I basically picked because the colour palette on the soap. And there was really no more to it than that. Did I really have to explain that? Yeah. Anywho, so as you can see, there's lots of berries here as well because the whole very berry bath, and I incorporated the soap into the image as well, and also the bubbles were kind of the soap because I want you to, when you look at this or whoever looks at this, realise that the soap has made those bubbles. So by giving them these swirls, which were really fun to do, I mean, I've never actually drawn bubbles like that. It was very fun. So yeah, I've definitely may or may not have gone over the top on the bubbles, but I mean, when you were a kid, did you ever have too many bubbles in the bath? I don't think, actually, not even if you're a kid. I mean, can you ever have too many bubbles in a bath? For me, absolutely not. So I had fun with it. As you can tell, I didn't know when to stop. Apparently, I just carry on drawing bubbles.
so much for watching. I cannot believe what we came up with from a miniverse. It just goes to show you really can find inspiration anywhere. I had so much fun. I definitely think I want to do some more of these. I may or may not have some more in my cupboard. So yeah, let me know if there's any miniverse that you'd like to see and to see me draw. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Here's a video that I think you'll like, and here's a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Enjoy! Right now, I really want to do some more miniverse. There's actually a makeup one that actually looks really good. So, oh, cute little tiny makeup. I think I might have to order that one.